Hi there, my name is Craig Williams, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at a free template that I'm giving away, curated specifically to make dark ambient music using just 8 instruments that are built into Logic Pro. So if you've got Logic Pro, you can download this preset for free in the description. You can follow along with me as I go through this, but the idea is that it's all using the stock built-in sounds from Logic Pro, so you don't need anything else to get started in making dark ambient music. Just download this. There's a couple of pads, a few leads and a bass, just to get you started and get the creative juices flowing. So I've created this, and I'm going to share with you some of the sounds in a second, and we'll play through it, and then I'll show you how they complement each other when being stacked in order to create a song. With ambient music, you don't really need a lot to get started, just a bass, a pad, maybe a lead, and from there you can start to piece together a song. We won't be doing that today, and this is purely just to showcase this template, and I want you guys to get creative with this. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we'll start with the ambient pad. I have absolutely stacked this with regard to effects. That being said, they are all stock effects. You know, this is, we'll strip it right back so you can hear how it sounds on its own. We'll solo this. So it's already a nice pad with nothing else, and this is just from Logic Pro's Retro Synth VST. But once we add everything to it, we get a really warm. The chorus really plays an important part in this pad. We've also used a single band EQ just to take off all the top end as well. So, you know, just jazzing around with this, it's really nice for you get the idea. And a beautiful chord sequence on pads is usually where I get started when creating ambient music. I usually like to, with pads you get the low end, you get the high end, and you can really create like a floor and ceiling in which to dance. And I've said that in a previous video as well, but I find that if you start playing around with some chords and you get a space in which then you can start to get creative. I usually find a lot of inspiration in just a handful of notes, you know, like with that there. So much room, which is going to lead me on to the next instrument, which is the Storyteller sine lead that I've curated. So this is using Alchemy. I've added a bit of bit crusher and tube EQ to this, and the reason for that is I wanted it to kind of have a degradation effect. So without those, it's just this. Alchemy already has some delay built into this preset that I've curated, but with a bit of tube EQ and bit crusher, that sound is now going to sound like this. And the bit crusher's not doing a lot. You can crank it up accordingly to how much noise you want in there, but with the pad, and a good sine lead is a core to dark ambient music for me. They just sound so beautiful. So that's the Storyteller sine lead. Next is the bass. So I actually found it quite hard to get a bass that I liked using the stock sounds, but I did land on this, and I do like it when it's in the mix. So this one I've called the cozy bass because, you know, we're having a cozy time here making ambient music, but this bass on its own, I wanted something that had sustain, something that no matter how long you hold it, you know, you're not losing anything, it's just constant, because you kind of want the bass to act as a pad when in ambient music, not dropping out, not having some crazy kind of like roar on the beginning of it, just a constant. So on this, I've just bounced in 2 notes complementing the ambient pad, and together they sound like this. And with the lead. So yeah, I mean, already there, just those 3 sounds, you've got yourself the foundations to work on a song. So I would say if you're going to download this template, working chronologically here is kind of how I wanted to work, you know. So starting with the top instrument, get some pads together, add a top line, and then layer in the bass. And the satisfaction of building these blocks is going to really pay off as you work your way down. After these 3, everything else is kind of like complementary. So I have this one called Rains of the Forest. This again is a retro synth. I have added an ARP to this as well, just to have it so when you're holding the pad, it's going to arpeggiate that pad. So without, you've got this sound. So we go. Nice bit of delay on there. We add the arpeggiator and you've got where you would use that is really situational. I really like the sounds. I kind of want it to, with ambient music, I don't tend to add a lot of percussion. Definitely I don't add drums. I wanted something with rhythm, and I found that this sound cuts through really nicely to add a bit of rhythm. So I'll move this over this track and we'll just play it underneath. I'm gonna start, I've put gain on everything, by the way, so that you didn't need to mess with the main mixer volume. So in the layers of effects, there's the gain channel, and here is where you can automate. So we'll start, I've obviously set it to -4, which is where I found it sat nicely, but I'm going to bring it down even further so you can hear me bring it in. I feel like that could be used to add tension into a track, especially if you're trying to climax and build up. Yeah, it's situational, but it's there to be used. If you download this, let me know if you find use for that. I think it's cool, and if anything, it's there to spark more ideas, right? The next one, I've got this, another pad. This one is built using retro synth again, and I've just added some chroma reverb. So you've got it's quite nice. There's also like a high resonant tone sat over the top. Sizzling. The next one I've called Root Rot. This one is kind of cool. So in context, again, more rhythmic patterns for this one. I added a bit of noise to that as well. The next one we've got is Harmony's Descent. This one I've just put to the end because it didn't really work with the sounds that I was building in this song. But I've added this because it's a really, really nice pad, and I'll show you. I'll throw a sine lead over the top as well so you can hear it kind of in context. There's a bit of movement in there as well, that pad. It's kind of got an LFO on there that's forcing a slight tremolo. You can use it obviously in lower ranges as well. You get the idea. And then last but not least, I've got Dyno Simulation. That's actually the name of the preset, I think, in the ES2. So I've messed with this a little bit. I can't even tell you what I've done. I was sat here kind of building these sounds from presets to get closer to what I wanted to achieve. We've added some delay, reverb and EQ to this sound. So this is quite nice pluck sound. So again, in context over this, I've made this sound. So there you have it. This is my free ambient template for Logic Pro. If you like what you hear, by all means you can download it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the sounds. With what you've got here, just those first 3 tracks, you could build a song around. So yeah, I hope you've liked the video. I hope you like the sounds, and thanks for joining me on this cozy, rainy evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.